Our piece is titled Unfamiliar, and it grew out of an exercise in the fiction workshop involving an old camera. Dianelis wrote the first half from the perspective of a 15-year-old girl, and then I continued the piece from the perspective of the girl's mom.
It was the most crowded place in the house. There were so many things in the attic. The boxes were on top of each other, piles of photos on the floor, and only one person was able to fit in the tiny room. Our old things were still in boxes since we had just moved 6 months ago. As I tried to make my way through the mess, I heard my dog growl. I froze. Snap! Did my mother forget the grocery list again? I would be in so much trouble if I were caught wandering up here. My palms are sweaty, and my heart rate accelerated. The loneliness and stillness of my house slowly eased my nerves. I thought to myself, that's it, I'm getting out of here. At the very moment that I was trying to find my way out, jumping around everything that was in my way, the sunlight poured through the glass and illuminated a white box covered with dust. It was leather, and it looked so sophisticated that it made the others' brown toolboxes look like trash. On the right corner of the box was a sticker that said, handled with care. I felt the urge to touch this box and see what was inside. I swallowed, blinked twice, and blew away the dust. Most of it went into my nose and made me sneeze so loud that it echoed through the house, even scaring me. I gave a little shake to get a clue of what was inside there. Something banged against the sides. I lifted up the cover little by little and peeked through. I was looking at something strange. It was unfamiliar. It was resting down on a white, silky, shiny cloth. Hidden in there was an antique black camera, but the camera looked neglected and unused for years. My eyes still widened as I saw how beautiful this machine was. My hands still a bit shaky, made their way to the camera. As I ran my finger over the camera, I felt its rough, rusty, cold skin. It made the hair on my right hand stand up. The lens of the camera was blurry from the dust, and the flash was standing out on top of the camera. I found the on button, and I pressed it. The front door opened, and I completely froze. My mom was back home. I felt my heart fall to the floor. I just didn't know what to do. I was caught red-handed.
It's broken, I blurted out as I take in the sight of her standing in the attic doorway with the camera in her hand. She silently examines the camera, running her fingers over its cold metal shell. I can almost feel what she feels in the tips of my fingers. Her finger comes to rest on the button. I feel it too, the cold, smooth roundness of it, waiting to be depressed, my ear already anticipating the click and whirring sound that would follow. No, I shout as I grab it from her hands. I want desperately to bring it up to my eye, just for a moment, but I force myself to put it down. Are you okay? She asks me. I nod and stuff my shaking hands in my pockets. She goes downstairs to get me a glass of water. I sit down on the dusty floorboards, wishing I had a way of slowing the thoughts that race through my brain, firing like fireworks, so loud I have trouble concentrating on any one. Would he still be there if I lifted the camera to my eye? Would he have wrinkled like me, like the way our daughter was so fond of pointing out? The doctors had told me that it was a temporary, grief-induced hallucination, that it was a coping mechanism. All explanations pointed to one thing, that he wasn't really there, and I had no proof, no photo. I never pressed the button when I saw him through the viewfinder. I was too afraid that what they said was true, that it was all in my head. She returns with the glass of ice water. I muster a smile. I bet we could sell this for a lot of money, I hear her say. It's old, broken. She lifts the camera to her eyes and focuses it on me. I cringe and wait. She moves the camera around the attic, focusing on different abandoned objects. What do you see? I ask. She aims it back at my face and zooms in. Your wrinkles, say cheese. She laughs and clicks the button. A week later, she comes home with a stack of photos. I think we need a new camera, she says, as she shows me the overexposed photos. The last photo in the pile is the one of me. There's an amorphous burst of light next to my face. It trickles down onto my shoulder, the way one would rest a hand there. Creepy, she says, and goes into her room to practice violin. The notes float through the house, and still I stare at the photo. I lift my hand to my shoulder and close my eyes.